I'm from a very small town in Central California. I love it. I love my family. I love my friends back home. But growing up, I found myself time and time again that I wasn't being challenged. I was doing a lot of things, but I wasn't growing a ton in one particular thing. I didn't have a mentor in my life. I didn't have someone who was kind of guiding me along. And I was just hungry. I was hungry for something different. I was hungry for a community that would say, Josh, this is where you're at, but this is where you can be. I was in a choir at a junior college in the town that I grew up in, and Dr. Jackson from Point Loma was there, and he was working with our choir. I was really intrigued by his teaching style, and I was drawn to Dr. Jackson because of the passion he had for the university and for his work here. He invited me to come audition for a scholarship. I remember the day that I stepped foot on this campus, I was just like, man, this is a beautiful campus. But that's always the first thing people say, but it's not until you immerse yourself in the campus, you start meeting the teachers, you start meeting the people, and that was when I knew. I remember walking into the room and one of the piano professors was playing a piece, waiting till I was gonna walk in the room, and it was just like inspiring. I was like, how can someone be that great? And just to know that these people who have been immersing themselves in learning and growing and excellence, and they're so great already, but they want to learn and grow and get even better. And to see on their faces that they were excited of the potential of me coming to their school. And it was the first time that I felt that sense of belonging at Point Loma. It was like, this is going to be my new family. Going into Point Loma, all I can think about was how many technical things I was going to learn. I didn't realize that I was going to be growing a lot as an individual too. Like, my character was going to be tested. I didn't know that the culture was going to cause me to become a better friend. I didn't realize it was going to cause me to become closer to Jesus. And so it was a really special time to know that that was kind of the start of something great, something really special. One of the many things I love about Point Loma is that these professors care about the students. I see in movies and shows where universities, there's hundreds of people in a classroom and they get no communication or conversation with their professors. And here at Point Loma, it's quite opposite. You have genuine relationships. I wasn't just a number. I wasn't just a small fish in a big pond. I was a student that they saw a future. They saw progress that could be made, and they pursued me just as I pursued this education. I loved my time at Point Loma because I got to lead many times with George. I interned with him for 3 years. Some of my fondest memories are just sitting in his living room with a cup of coffee and the interns gathered around and just talking about ways that we can sharpen our craft. Over my time leading worship more and more, I realized it's less and less about music and more about communicating. And not only communicating, but an invitation for people to experience Jesus in a fresh way. I remember spending the first couple of years just being super discouraged because I could not see myself growing in that area of communicating, with articulating scripture, having concise and clear thoughts to say on stage, and help a congregation be at ease and receptive. And I remember my senior year, it was about halfway through, and I finally was able to see those years of hard work paying off. I found that preparing for worship sets weren't as hard anymore. I found that I enjoyed looking at scripture in a different light and looking for opportunities to communicate with my peers and to love people. I think it goes back to that place of sometimes learning is hard and sometimes it's uncomfortable, but there is a day where you get to see the benefits and the fruits of the hard work, and couldn't have done it without people pulling me along and picking me up and dusting off my back and saying, it's okay, you're gonna get them next time. It's all right, you're gonna get them next time. You know, seeing the gold in my work even when I didn't see it, because I naturally go to all the negatives. What did I do wrong? But a good teacher, a good mentor, this community, is one who says, this is the gold in you. And they pull the gold out and they help polish the things that need to be polished. And I found that happened many times at Point Loma. I was constantly being put in this position of striving for excellence in everything that I do, and to do it out of a posture of faithfulness. I think it's really neat when you can leave college and be proud of that season, but then also be grateful for what that season set you up for. My hope and prayer is that I'm able to do half as good a job as the professors did for me at Point Loma, and just to be able to carry on that legacy of Point Loma, which is investing in upcoming generations and realizing that there is value in being teachable, there is value in sowing into people, and there is value in loving Jesus and making sure that you live a life of integrity and character.